Hi guys, Paul from Journey of a Petrolhead, and we're looking at the interior of the Mercedes A-Class that we borrowed from Kevin Giles Motors down in Kinnegad. I suggest you jump on his website and have a look at this car if you like the review. It's currently for sale and it's in good shape. Now, let's have a quick look at the interior, and let's start off with the key as we normally do. And in this case, the key, Mercedes key, as you can see, it has the Mercedes badge, a lock and an unlock. Right, there's no actual blade in these particular keys. Unless you have a bit of a problem, you can dismantle the key here and take a blade out to put in the lock if you need to. But it's not a smart key, but it's a shame you still got to put it in the ignition. But it's a standard Mercedes key. All right, let's go into the interior and see what the controls are like. So let's have a quick look at the AMG steering wheel that we have. It's a really nice leather wrapped steering wheel. Some nice controls for navigating around the various menu systems and audio controls over this side. And you'll notice, because it's a 7-speed box, she has floppy paddle gearbox as well, which is really nice. As per usual, mounted on the steering wheel, we all understand my feeling about having these paddles mounted on the steering wheel. They're nice paddles. I wish they were mounted on the base of the wheel rather than the actual wheel itself, but look, it is what it is. I do like the dials in here. They are quite sharp. We'll start the engine now in a second and you'll see how they all light up. Now you'll notice there is no gear change down in the center here, right? And that is interesting, but this is what Mercedes have done. They've taken a leaf out of the Americans' book. They've put a gear change up here. It's actually very simple to use, and I'll take you through that on the test drive. So now let's put the key in and let's see what happens to the dashboard. First thing you notice is a nice Mercedes emblem that comes up. You're actually better able to see the dials now. I like the way the fuel gauge is integrated in here in the speedo. I like the fact that the temperature gauge is integrated over here in the rev counter. It is quite sharp. I do like the center display. You'll notice how the gear change selectors are shown in here as well, which is always quite good too. Right, let's start the car. Let's turn off the radio. I like the display as it starts off. It is quite sharp. You can check that all the warning lights are in good condition. Everything should be working as is. And there we are. She's now running, right? Now, there's quite a lot of information in front of me here, but it is shown in a compact fashion. But then we have the big tablet idea here that Mercedes have come up with as well. Let's turn that on and see what we see. Now, in here, because this is the AMG spec motor, we also have a dynamic select driving mode. I'll come back to that in a minute. I want to start off with the sat-nav. Reasonably easy to see, and there's a nice big screen actually, and if you look when you're driving, the line of the screen is in a good position so your eyes don't come off the road too much. So I do like the position of the screen. I know a lot of commentators are complaining about it's a stuck-on idea and the screen isn't really integrated into the dashboard and what have you, but you know, I think it looks quite nice. I also like the rotary dials that are underneath it. They do complement the positioning of the screen and the dashboard as a whole. When you put it in the wheel, it does look quite sharp. Now, let's see what else we have down here. We have obviously the air dials. We have the radio system, which is quite nice. CD changer. We have a lot of extra toys in this particular model. We have heated seats, which are fantastic. Every car should have heated seats. We have parking sensors. We can turn them off if we need to. We have stop-start on this particular car. And we have dynamic select. That's what I was talking about. Now, let's have a quick look what dynamic select does. Push that button. We have different settings here in the display. It shows me comfort, sport, individual, and eco. Now, the idea behind this is you can change your driving modes for your car. How do you want your car to drive? You can actually program... Sorry, let me just do that again. You can program it to be comfort or economy or sport or whatever way you want to do it yourself, right? Which is interesting. If we go back to the main menu. Now, how am I actually using this? This is not a touchscreen in case people think it's a touchscreen. That's a mistake I was making too. There is a controller down here that allows you to change your various settings. This brings you back always to a different level. And here we are back at the start. Okay, and where we want to go is we want to go across to vehicle. We push the button, so literally just push the button and it selects something, and we're in vehicle settings. When you're in vehicle settings, you can then go into dynamic select, and this is where the fun starts. So, depending on what sort of a driver you want to be, Do you want to put it in economy mode? Do you want to put it in sport mode? What do you want to do? Which section do you want to put in each different setting? So you can actually have an individual setup that could have comfort steering, comfort suspension, sport steering, economy power. It's very, very clever in this. You can actually get the car set up to drive any way you want. I do like that idea from Mercedes. It is quite clever. You can also set air conditioning. You can turn on and off the stop start. It's really, really cleverly thought out, this, and I'm looking forward to taking this car for a drive because I do think it will drive extremely well because of this system. Now, let me take you through the gear shift real quick. So, what they've done is, you push a button on the end, it puts it in park. As you can see, it's in park. You drop it down to go into D, you drop it up to go into R, and anywhere in the middle is in reverse. And it's really, really quite a clever system. So if we do this, okay, see, that's clever, right? We cannot drive away with the handbrake on, although in this case it's foot brake. And now if we go into D, and there we are in D1, or we can go into D. If we go all the way down on that lever, that puts us into a manual shift scenario where we can then use the paddles, yeah? And then we can go up to reverse mode, and in reverse gear, we pick up our reverse camera. It's very, very nice. And if you notice when you turn the wheel, it shows you where the car is going to go as you reverse, which is very, very clever. I do like that. Jaguar have the same system. It is quite a clever idea. There's also sensors on the front and back, so this car will be quite simple to park. There's no problem with parking this car at all. We have an automatic dimming mirror. We also have automatic lights on this particular car, which is quite nice. I do like that idea. And we have the famous, if we look at it down here, the cruise control from Mercedes. Now, I find this system a little confusing at times. The one stalk does both the cruise control and the speed limiter, depending on how you use it. This way for the limiter, that way. This way for the cruise control, that way for the limiter. It's not intuitive, so you do get used to it after a while. I've driven Mercedes before and you get used to it after a short period of time. It's just not as intuitive as, say, Peugeot or BMW even. Now, sometimes the Jaguar one is quite simple, but this one is a little bit confusing. But a little bit of practice, you'll be fine. Now, let's have a quick look at the seats. We have AMG sport seats in this particular car, and I tell you something, they look fantastic and they're extremely comfortable. And because they're heated, that's even better. We have a reasonably sized glove box as well, which isn't too bad. And we have a lot of headroom. We also have lights, and what I really, really like in this car is we have, you probably can't see them, but under there, under that mirror, you can't see them too well there, I'm afraid, but we do have ambient lighting. I do like ambient lighting in a car, so at night the interior of the car lights up. It does look quite nice. Let's have a quick look at the interior, at the rear interior, and see how that goes. I usually do. I've put the driver's seat where it is for me, and again, there's an awful lot of legroom in the back of this car. The inside of this car is quite large, and there's a lot of headroom. A lot of headroom here. I can fit another hand over my head before I hit the ceiling, so it's quite comfortable. I like the black interior lining, and I like the way the back is set up in this car. There's air vents, there's power socket in between the seats, there's 4 electric windows, there's map reading lights. It's really, really comfortable in the back of this car. This is well thought out, and again, for long trips, this car would work well for people. There's plenty of room, there's plenty of lights. It'd be comfortable for the back, comfortable for the front, and there's a good sound system in this car too. This is particularly well presented in the AMG trim that we have sitting in this particular car. So I do like this Mercedes A-Class. The interior is well thought out. So I'm looking forward to taking this particular car for a test drive now, which we're going to do next. Don't forget to click on the next video, like and subscribe as usual, guys. And don't forget, this particular model is in Kevin Giles Motors. Ring in a hurry or it'll be gone. Thanks.